Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
In January 2019, along with giving the Sea Life Trust the Shining World Compassion Award to recognize its noble work, Supreme Master Ching Hai also made a humble contribution of $15,000 towards the charity's dolphin and whale care, with all love and gratitude in God's mercy. May you and all involved, as well as the whales, be protected always by the Providence. As we are reporting this, Supreme Master Ching Hai is lovingly sending another $10,000 to Sea Life Trust to further this noble work, with all love and gratitude in God's protection. Please continue watching to find out more. Hvernig hefurðu das means how are you? That is how the people of Iceland would greet you in Icelandic. Vibrant viewers, I'm Kolfina. The friendly people of Iceland wish that God's love always lights your days. Welcome to our show titled Sea Life Trust, Safeguarding Marine Life and Habitats, Part 2 of 3. Sea Life Trust is a global charity and a Shining World Compassion Award recipient dedicated to protecting marine animals and their habitats. It was entrusted by Merlin Entertainments Limited, a UK-based family entertainment company headquartered in Poole, Dorset, UK, to send 2 beluga whales living in a Merlin-owned aquarium in Shanghai, China, back to their natural ocean habitat. The Beluga Whale Sanctuary was established by Sea Life Trust to free the pair and other belugas in captivity. Today, we continue our interview with Andy Bull, the head of the Sea Life Trust. He will tell the story of the Beluga Whale Sanctuary and the challenges involved in returning the 2 beluga whales from the water park back to the ocean.
The Beluga Whale Sanctuary really came about in 2012. Little White and Little Grey, the 2 whales who are at the heart of this project, have had many significant moments in their lives across the years. But in 2012, there was a really significant moment when the water park in Shanghai, where they lived and were performing daily to big audiences in a specially built auditorium, was taken over by a company called Merlin Entertainments. And Merlin Entertainments work with the Sea Life Trust. We're one of their partners. They don't believe, like we don't, that beluga whales or other cetaceans, whales and dolphins, should be performing in front of humans for entertainment. So they immediately began working with us and with our other partner, Whale and Dolphin Conservation, to find an alternative solution for Little White and Little Grey. And from that, the sanctuary was born.
The pair of beluga whales needed to be moved almost 10,000 kilometers from Shanghai, China to Heimaey Island in Iceland. Nothing like this had ever been done before. Let us learn about the challenging moments on the journey from Mr. Bull.
There have been many challenges in creating this world's first sanctuary for whales, coming from a captive environment to a more natural environment. Firstly, it was about finding the right location, and that took the longest period of time, actually 4 years. Until we ultimately found Kletsvik Bay on the island of Heimaey off the south coast of Iceland, which is the perfect environment for this sanctuary. It's the most beautiful bay, enclosed on 3 sides by cliffs, so it's protected from what can be bad weather in Iceland quite regularly. It's a space that's 32,000 square metres, 30 times bigger than the stadium, the display area that Little White and Little Grey came from in Shanghai. It's enclosed, so allows us to put nets across to separate it from the open ocean to keep Little White and Little Grey safe in that space. But once we'd found that location, really the next big challenge for us was how do you move two whales, little white and little grey, 6,000 miles from one side of the world to the other, from the water park in Shanghai where they were living to Iceland, which will be their new permanent home in Kletsvik Bay. And that took a lot of planning and preparation to do. And really, there was a good solid 18 months of preparation and planning in making sure that move went well for Little White and Little Grey. Because throughout all of this project, our focus is on Little White and Little Grey's welfare. So the stages we had to go through in moving Little White and Little Grey there were kind of three main stages, I suppose you would say. The first is preparing them for the move. So they'd been living in the water park in the small space they were in there for 9 years. And over that time, they were in water that's roughly 15 degrees. Where they're moving to is at the lowest point in January, February is about 6 or 7 degrees. So the first thing you have to do is feed them so that they build up their blubber layer, which will keep them warm in that cold water. So we spent a lot of time on their nutrition and making sure we were feeding them the right foods to be able to build up that blubber layer.
Compassionate viewers, we will now pause for a constructive message. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Sea Life Trust Safeguarding Marine Life and Habitats Part 2 of 3 on Supreme Master Television. Mr. Bull will tell us more about the preparation for the whales' amazing journey.
But also in an aquarium or water park, they don't dive to the depths that they will do in the wild. They don't swim underwater for as long as they will do in the wild. So we had to train them to hold their breath for longer. We had to build their stamina as well with the care team there. So a lot of time was spent in preparing them physically for that journey, if you like, and mentally. But then the next part was about training them and desensitizing them to the equipment that would be used to transport them, because it's a complex journey and it involves a journey by road first from the aquarium in Shanghai to the international airport on the back of a lorry. They're then taken from that lorry, put onto a plane and flown for 10.5 hours from China to Iceland. And then at the other end, they're offloaded again onto another lorry, which travels for 3.5 hours, down to a ferry port, which is half an hour from the island. And then the last leg of the journey is half an hour by ferry to the island. So it's quite a complex journey. And we created and built 2 special containers for Little White and Little Grey to travel in. Luxury accommodation, if you like, first-class accommodation on the journey. So we created these containers that were built to hold these 4-metre-long, 1-ton animals that would keep them comfortable through the journey. So we had to specially build slings, which were used to lift them out of the pool and back into the pool in Iceland when they arrived as well. And they spent the entire journey in those. There was a lot of complex planning there, but then it was also about the people looking after Little White and Little Grey through that journey. We needed a vet and one of their care team members with them on the flight. So we had to work with Cargolux Airlines, who generously donated the flight to us for the journey, to ensure that staff could have access to Little White and Little Grey to make sure they were comfortable through the journey, because that's a big part. Beluga whales don't like change, is one thing I've learned through all of this. And you help manage that change and reduce their stress through that change by maintaining the contact they have with the people they know and their care team members. So that contact during the flight was very important, and monitoring them during that flight. We needed that all the way through the journey.
We appreciate the efforts of the vet and care team who looked after the 2 whales and Cargolux Airlines, which kindly provided their flight to Iceland free of charge. Without your selfless dedication and love, this great project could never have happened. In January 2019, along with giving the Sea Life Trust the Shining World Compassion Award to recognize its noble work, Supreme Master Ching Hai also made a humble contribution of $15,000 towards the charities Dolphin and Whale Care with all love and gratitude in God's mercy. May you and all involved, as well as the whales, be protected always by the Providence. As we are reporting this, Supreme Master Ching Hai is lovingly sending another $10,000 to Sea Life Trust to further this noble work, with all love and gratitude in God's protection. Supreme Master Ching Hai is deeply grateful to the beloved God for all the financial help, comfort and support to the afflicted and needy and or any good cause over the years as a humble vessel for His compassion and love toward His precious children. For more information about the Sea Life Trust, please visit sealifetrust.org, Facebook @Sea Life Trust. Please join us again on Monday, April 19th for Sea Life Trust, Safeguarding Marine Life and Habitats Part 3 of 3, where we will bring you the touching moment when the 2 beluga whales finally return to their natural home, the ocean. Gentle viewers, it has been a pleasure to have you with us today. Coming up next is 7 questions from Alexander the Great, part 1 of 8 on Between Master and Disciples, right after noteworthy news. May infinite wisdom and love always reside within you.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/GPGW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/GPGW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/GPGW.
برنامه‌های ما شامل زبان‌های بسیاری است. از این وبسایت‌ها دیدن فرمایید: suprememastertv.com/schedule و suprememastertv.com/GPGW